in quantum physics. And the singularity is the all-existence of what happens before the Big Bang. So there's a quest among scientists in the world to explain, because you say, okay, we accept the Big Bang. You know, we accept the Drake equation, you know, and there's a lot of things we accept. But that doesn't mean you can prove it, but they still call it science. So we're going to say quantum physics is the edge of what we're doing with extraterrestrials. Now, I don't know that name you're citing, that man, but Janet wrote it up for us, folks, on Aquarian Radio. She's been my good friend before all this, and she and I have a story to tell of extraterrestrial passion, synchronicity, and how Dr. Bruce came into our life. But the reason Dr. Bruce got in touch with me, which was so shocking, we were talking about the same man, Tommy, and didn't even know it, because I didn't know Bruce knew Tommy. So I'm on a synchronicity, supernatural study of behavior and why people, if they're meant to meet and do a quest, like Dr. Bruce here and I, for the ACO Club, is why did we meet? But we haven't met yet.
Right,
so
exactly.
Bob Brown is part of that.
Yes, we're all connected here. This is all part of a bigger plan that is being unfolded before our eyes. And
somebody's orchestrating it, though, because it's too coincidental that you came into my life and you knew Tommy all those years in New Jersey. He never brought you for 8 years on my show. 8 years, Dr. Bruce. And then you pop up out of nowhere, and you didn't even know I was talking about Tommy, and I didn't know you were talking about Tommy. We were both talking about Tommy.
I went out in the field with Tommy, and we were there with Brian Williams and out in Pine Bush together. So back in 95, 96, we were very close at that point, and we didn't realize what was happening to us other than that we were experiencing all of these unusual craft that were flying around us in the night sky and documenting them. So that's
well, then the
book.
ETs had to bring us back together, because you're back in my life being like the leader with the PhD and the study, and you were the one that got chosen, not Tommy, not Janet, not me, but you, by Bob Brown. Bob was very nice. I've got lots of emails from him.
I'm sort of wondering, is this really what is happening right now, that I am being chosen? My God.
You were chosen. Bob Brown chose you.
For a lot of things so far, and my point is that I don't know where this is going to lead. I need more instruction from whoever is, the administrators or the producers of this show. Something is going to have to happen. That is going to give me more direction. Well,
I went up with Jesus, but Jesus brought me from Gulf Breeze, where you started in 94. So I was tracking why they had a tornado chase me out of my house and bring me down to Gulf Breeze, and my other daughter that's alive, said she'd come get me and bring me down here for Christmas. But by the time the tornado hit, she couldn't get up there fast enough, and the tornado chased me out. I threw my stuff in my van, left all my books, all my government papers so I could get a job down here, all kind of stuff left in Kentucky to get down here, and then they take me off of the beach here in Gulf Breeze to see Jesus on a spaceship. Now, how crazy is that? That's crazy.
I've had a number of people that I've met in the abduction phenomena who have allegedly met Jesus aboard spaceships. Now, how was that?
No way. I thought I made that story up.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a folklore.
I mean, is he in every place at the same time? I don't know. All I can say is what I have been told and I have been shown about the individual that allegedly is my son, based on DNA, that was born to a 17-year-old Jewish virgin and replicating the Mary birth back in the time that Jesus was born. And we are going over this again. It's happening again. And that's the important thing to realize.
Well, I wonder how many people are like me that think they're the Jesus' daughter, and then I went to meet him on a spaceship, and now this is nuts. These stories, folks, you just can't make them up. I mean, you have to live them over in your mind and in your dreams and be reality. It just doesn't make sense. Yep. That's what I'm chasing.
But
have you been called crazy? I've never been called crazy except by my family.
Oh yeah. My family even told me I'm crazy. Or believe me.
Okay, well, we'll start a crazy. Almost crazy.
Start crazy. But the bottom line is that the Jesus icon or symbol or archetype is important to humanity. That is the
apparently.
Bottom line.
It's in our archetypes, in our DNA, in our memories, in our out-of-body experiences. So I guess we're going to define a way to speak to each other and communicate our deepest secrets, because that was a secret. But, I've tried to explain it, what it's appeared to me, because I couldn't understand if I was in my body or out. So it starts feeling like my Bible stories, that it's all of a sudden I had a new reality in my head of what it means, like in the Bible, to say, whether I was in body or out, I cannot tell, because you really can't tell. You're with Jesus, and it's in reality, but it's on a spaceship, and because you've taken from this reality. I can't explain it. It just, I know I left my body on the beach, and I've dropped my phone, and I've got that on YouTube. I was putting up my daughter, and she was dying, right? So she had cancer, so we went out to the beach. And God, she's very much more a God-Jesus person than me, so why didn't they take her? Maybe they did. They took her whole body. But they took me up, and you can see the UFO cloud and a Mercedes sign and a big hand in the cloud pointing to the UFO. And then I'm showing that, and then they take me. And the phone drops. I'm in the middle of a conversation. And I go see Jesus. So maybe that's my story goes with your story, which is crazy.
Well,
but okay.
Well, it's not crazy. It's part of the archetype, the symbolism that is happening, that is relevant to everyone. Now, how in the world can my experience relate to the rest of the world? I mean, imagine me discovering that I may have given DNA to the new male child before I even lost my virginity, and he was born to a virgin, a 17-year-old Jewish virgin, in 1967. How in the world can that be related to everything else, other than that this is a miracle, this is unexplainable, this is amazing, and that we have to begin to realize that God works in mysterious ways, very mysterious ways. So don't discount anything when it comes to...
Well, I've got to believe you, because I know that my story sounds crazy. And I accept that, but I'm a Jesus Christ believer, and I know I was taken up on a spaceship, or what looked like a spaceship to me, but I know I sound crazy, so, we'll just have to deal. I guess that's God and Jesus' plan. Either they exist or they don't. So you come up to whether you believe in God or you don't. You believe in Jesus or you don't. You believe in extraterrestrials and angels or you don't.
Right. How do you affect millions, billions of people at the same time, other than to giving them hope for their own salvation? That is the key, that they all have hope.
Well, yeah, because I just about lost it. I was losing it because my daughter had cancer and was going to die. And he's got me watching her walk down the ocean or the water hitting the beach, and takes me and tells me to keep doing what I'm doing for the Ascension age, and I'm like,
right,
okay,
I had contact with
a very unusual person, a very special person called Ralph Meany. And I was amazed that he contacted me out of the blue back in the 90s. And he told me that in 1970, he won the Daytona 500 as a rookie. He won the Daytona 500 race. And I was amazed. I mean, it's there. He did it. And then he told me how he was abducted multiple times. And on one of his appearances aboard an alien ship, he saw Jesus. He saw him in another room.
There's somebody else that says that on the planet?
Yes. And then...
Oh, my gosh.
So this really affected me. I said, wow, this is a major event, something that has an archetype of that is universal to everybody, that it affects everybody, that is connected to everybody, that we are all interconnected as one. And that's what the ETs have been telling us time and time again, that we are all one with God, okay? So we are not separate and individual. We are one with the source. And that was what he told me. Ralph Meany told me about the amazing things that happened to him, about a case when he was driving in a friend's, I think it was one of the sports cars, that he was driving along, and he told his friend, I've just been told that you need to stop before you get this intersection. There's going to be a car that goes through the intersection. And he didn't listen to him, and they had a collision. The car was totally destroyed. His friend survived, and he survived. But the car was totally disintegrated in the collision. And then on another case, he was in the preparing for the one of his races, and one of the engines was on a tackle that was being lifted above to put it into the car, and he was too close, and the chain broke, and the engine fell on his foot, and they ran to him and pulled the engine off, and he was not injured at all. In other words, he was protected. Something told him that he was protected. That's why he contacted me, that he could not be injured. And I thought wow, this is crazy. Who's going to believe that? That the winner of this 1970 500 race has protected by God. And literally, he was.
Well, that's the way I feel. God's brought me back, I guess, because I don't know any other word for it. It's got to be God. But they send these angels down, or these beings, to pull me up, and when I die, and reincarnate me in this same reality. So I have all these memories, but not just in this reality, in prior realities, and then in my dreams, and then they give me ways to understand how it all works. But to me, in this reality, if you separate your inside the matrix reality that you're programmed with academia, economics, government, spirit, I don't know if you'd even count spirit, but at least the main institutions that run the matrix inside what reality we all create together, what I see and what I believe and what I know in my head is different. But I'm okay with that because I always thought I was just different. But, you couldn't talk about it. But now I've got to accept that it sounds crazy, but I guess I'm going to tell my truth too. I guess we're going to have to be brave and just say don't shoot the messenger because I've gone through too much pain. Not dying's easy, but coming back is hard, and going on and continuing missions is hard. Because you're going to sound crazy. If you share your miracles and your supernatural, you're just going to sound crazy because we're already programmed to believe there's only one narrative, whether it's Gabriel, Angel Gabriel